Welcome, friends, to the Gamer Down. This is your host, Dark Hostess. And you can see that things have changed on the public test shard since the other day we were looking over here. And we're back to Phase 1. And they have the Phase 1 quests in now. And they're different than the Phase 5 quests. So I thought I would go ahead and let you all have a look at them. One of the very first quests here is to gain a new Ascendant ability, and that is to buff ward stones. And basically you just go and buy it. I think it's like 50 planerite, and I imagine you can be any level to do it. And one thing about these quests here, like my quests were for Shimmer Sand, so I don't know how they would let a level 10 go to Shimmer Sand, of course. So I'm thinking that it's going to be probably zone specific. So if you're level, say 35, it'll probably be somewhere in Moonshade Highlands, possibly. You know, I'm reading a lot into this. You know, I'm making it up really, and guessing. So my quests are in Shimmer Sand, so that you can at least know that much. If you're level 50, you will be going to Shimmer Sand.
Always a pleasure.
But I do think that is probably an accurate assumption. You know, if you're like level 15, you're probably going to be going to your nearest ocean, you know, so Silverwood. And like level 35, you're probably be going to the ocean over in Moonshade. That's what I imagine. You know, just so that everybody would have a quest, that's the only way it would be, you know. It'd have to be zone specific. And let's look at these quests here. One of them, you have to use an item around the NPCs that are running around Sanctum or Meridian, depending on your faction. And they'll be having that water aura about them. And if you just use the quest item, then they will reveal themselves for who they really are. A bunch of jerks. That's right. They're a bunch of undercover jerks. And another quest, you must gather these kind of eggshell type things again. I don't know what it is with these eggshells and eggs. Maybe somebody's eating breakfast while they're developing this. I don't know. But you must go collect these little eggshell type things. And mine were in Shimmer Sand in the water, right in front of Fortune Shore. That's where they ended up being. And the next thing is to summon the Water Lords and Slate. It's like 7 of them. And that was pretty easy too. You know, there's just these little mini rifts in the water. And you use the quest item, and they appear. You kill them. Job done. But first, let's go and get our Bless Wardstone ability. Yeah. That is for the daily too. So you have to go bless a Wardstone. And it seems like you need to bless a wardstone that you take over. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. You know, I blessed a wardstone that I imagined would have worked, but it didn't work. I didn't get credit for it. So, I guess it has to be a specific type of wardstone. So, we're going to have to figure that out ourselves. According to the quest text, I imagine it has to be those wardstones that, like when you take them over, a quest mob appears. You know, not the main wardstones. But, sorry, I got a little distracted over here. So much nudity on the public test shard. I don't know what it is, you know, the nudity. I'm all for it. It's just kind of distracting. So, you see, I started to walk off from this quest. And what you're supposed to do is buy the Bless Wardstone ability before you walk off like I did. So, you're going to have to go back to the planerite guy and buy the Bless Wardstone ability. See, I had to go and reread this text a little bit. This is what happens when you try to rush through things a little too quickly. So here I am back at the planerite dealer, and I got my ability. And now we can finish this little quest up. Easy peasy. So now that we have that ability, we are able to complete the other daily quest. And that will be the main daily. That is the main daily. This is just to gain the ability to do that daily, and that is to gain the ability to bless a wardstone, and that's just buffing a wardstone. And it has to be one of those neutral wardstones that either faction can take over. And when they do take it over, and then like the little quest mob pops out. And here you can see I'm just turning it in. And you didn't get any runic seals for this quest, which was kind of a drag. I thought you should get a few at least, since it is dealing with this world event. So let's go ahead and run through these other dailies, just so we know exactly how they run. And you see where it's at for me. It's way, way off in Shimmer Sand, right in front of Fortune Shore there. That's where my dailies are. So, you know, it's pretty easy. You know, you just take the Particulum, go to Fortune Shore, bam, you're right there. Go do your dailies and get back. I don't imagine it'd probably take more than 15 or 20 minutes to knock them all out, and you'll get at least like 75 runic seals for doing this. And the other way you obtain these runic seals is by doing the water rifts and killing the water footholds. That is the way you do it. And each phase will also have new dailies and different dailies. But since we were right here for this one quest, I thought we might as well go ahead and do it. And you see these NPCs running around with this funny little glow about them, that water aura. And you can actually buy this aura with your runic seals. It's one of the items you can buy. And what you do is use the quest item by these little glowy guys, these glowy NPCs, these waterlogged pillagers or villagers or whatever they're called. And you can do multiple ones at a time. If there's 3 or 4 of them really close to each other, you can set off your quest item and they'll both pop out and show themselves. And yeah, there you go. See? Really easy. I mean, this shouldn't take any time at all. And they seem to spawn pretty fast. So hopefully there won't be too much fighting over them. We all know how courteous everyone was with those coin caches from the last world type quest thingy that was going on. Yeah, that was a little painful. Yeah, I'm hoping that the spawn rate on these villagers is pretty good. It seems pretty good, but I didn't really hang out long enough to check their spawn rates or anything. I imagine that you'll be able to knock this out pretty quickly. No time at all. And that is basically it for this quest. So, time to head on out to Fortune Shore. This is one of my favorite areas, actually. I really like Fortune Shore. But it kind of reminds me of this one area from Age of Conan. I mean, the boats and everything, they're very similar. But I like that area too, so yeah. Anyway, this is where the next quest is. For me at least, being level 50. Like I said, I don't know how a level 15 or something like that would survive out here. So I imagine that you would be in the oceans at Silverwood, and I imagine it's all level specific. You know, there's like an ocean for every level, so I imagine there's an ocean for your level as well. So you see how easy this is. All you have to do is loot these things, and I can't recommend enough getting a water potion. You know, there's like really none available on the public test shard. I really wish there was. That would be nice, but no, there's not any. I had to almost drown every time. I'd generally be about half dead by the time I noticed I was drowning. Yeah. But you see that each time you loot one of these eggs, little tiny babies appear. And if the little tiny babies don't appear, the big mama appears. Yeah. Mama come to defend her babies. That's right. So, it's going to be either little tiny babies appearing or Big Mama. Big Mama's going to be showing up. There she is. That is Big Mama. And, you know, not that big. Not that hard. Nothing you can't handle yourself. So, all of these dailies, you know, they are really easy. I'm glad they got away from just strict rift dailies. That helps out a lot, you know, with the boredom. From what I've seen on the public test shard. Really, it seems like the devs are really trying very hard to please everyone. They're putting in this raid content, and they're putting in these more fun dailies, with more creative dailies, for everybody else. And they're also testing out the PvP as well. So, they are trying to cater to everybody, and they're doing a pretty good job. It's just they got a lot of work. They got a lot of work ahead of them. And here's the other quest, where you see these little mini rifts underneath, and all you have to do is just use your quest item near these little mini rifts, and the quest mob will appear. And they seem to have a pretty good spawn rate too, so shouldn't take you very long at all to knock this quest out. It didn't take me very long, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe max. Maybe they heard me the other day talking about the low spawn rates, but I don't know. And yeah, you see I almost about drowned here, and you might think I died, but I actually ended up living. I cut the fraps because I was like, oh, here, I'm going to go ahead and die. But I actually lived, so that was a happy day for me. See, I'm all happy. So after that little ordeal and regaining my breath, I decided to go ahead and kill one more, just so you can get a really good look at what's going on here. So what you do, you go to the bottom of the ocean, to the little mini rifts. Then just use your quest item. The quest mob appears, kill the quest mob. It is that easy. And grandma of 80 could do it. Anybody can do it. Yeah, it's real easy. All these quests are totally simple. The whole reason I'm just showing them to you is just so you'll have a leg up over the competition, and so you'll know exactly what to do. Sometimes it can be a little confusing. That is one thing about Rift that is true. Some of the quest text is a little thin in areas, some of the descriptions on what you're exactly supposed to do, but thank goodness for the map and being able to track quests and it tracking on your map like that. And here I found a ward stone. I thought, it's a ward stone. We'll give it a try and see what this little buffing thing does. And you see, it did buff it up a little bit. But unfortunately, I did not get any credit for it. So it has to be those little neutral ward stones, which are kind of hard to find. I forgot exactly where one would be. That was my level. And anyway, that's been about it for all these quests. For the Phase 1, this will be the series of quests that you will first encounter when this whole thing launches on the 22nd. So, this has been Dark Hostess for the Gamer Down. Subscribe, thumbs up videos, and all that good stuff. Take care.
All is not lost. Truth and fortune. God save you. Always a pleasure. Strike when the iron is hot.